Hi friends, my name is Narasimha and I'm pursuing my engineering in IRE college. Today, as a part of my 80 concept videos in the subject of business economics and financial analysis, I want to explain about a topic named equi-marginal cost. So in economics, we are well defined by this name equi-marginal cost. So first of all, what is a marginal cost? In economics, the marginal cost of production is the change in total production cost that comes after making or producing one additional unit. To calculate marginal cost, divide the change in production cost by the change in quantity. The purpose of analyzing marginal cost is to determine at what point an organization can achieve economics of scale, means the total expenditure and the total returns should be same to optimize production and overall operations. So, this is the definition. The marginal cost of production is a change in total production cost that comes from making or producing one additional unit. So next, if the marginal cost of producing one additional unit is lower than the per unit price, the producer has the potential to gain a profit. The formula for calculating marginal cost is as follows. Marginal cost is equals to cost in change in cost divided by change in quantity. The characteristics of marginal cost. Classification into fixed cost and variable cost, valuation of stock, profitability, determination of price. This is a normal diagram which shows about the characteristics of marginal cost. Next, equi-marginal cost. So these three slides are explaining about what is the actually marginal cost and how we have to calculate it if you want to know in any problem. So equi-marginal cost. Before going to the definition, I want to give a simple example by which you can understand the equi-marginal cost. You have 1,000 rupees and you want to buy a booklet. So you have decided to buy it and you are going to a shop. In the traveling, you got a thought that not only booklet you also want to buy a pad for it. So you have went to the shop and asked the shopkeeper, what is the cost of a booklet? He said it is 1,000 rupees. So you have thought that why should we buy in this shop, and you, for a second thought, you have went to another shop and you asked there the shopkeeper how much is the booklet. He said it is 500, and also he had this pad which is a cost of 500. So you have decided to buy it because you have 1,000 rupees and you want to buy two items. One is a booklet and one is a pad, which costs one is 500 and another also 500. So I have bought it. So we are by comparing the two shops. In the first shop, you're getting your one number of quantities is 1 and the cost is 1,000 rupees. In the second shop, you're getting number of quantities are 2. One is a booklet and a pad and the cost is 1,000 rupees. So this equi-marginal cost, or also simply known as equi-marginal principle, states that the number of quantities as an output will differ, but the actual output in the expenditure or the amount is same. Well, we see in the example, the number of quantities are different from shop 1 to shop 2, that is 1 and 2. But the final output means the final expenditure you are giving to the shopkeeper is same, that is 1,000 rupees. So I'm thinking that this example is suitable for this lecture. And going to the slide, equi-marginal cost. It's also known as equi-marginal principle, which I said before. In managerial economics, deals with the allocation of available resource among the alternative activities. According to equi-marginal principle, an input should be allocated in such a way that the value added by the last unit is the same in all the cases. Equi-marginal principle. In effect, what we have done here is to invoke the important equi-marginal principle. To get the minimum aggregate managerial optimum cost curve, the aggregate level of emissions must be distributed among the different sources in such a way that they all have the same marginal absolute cost. So here is an example. In first column, we have seen the units. In the second column, marginal utility of ice cream, and the third column, marginal utility of chocolate. So actual understanding, how we have to understand this tabular form. Suppose any person, he or she, he substitutes one ice cream for one chocolate so that he buys 4 ice creams and 3 chocolates. Now, the marginal utility of both ice creams and chocolates is the same, that is 4. This combination of ice cream and chocolate yields maximum total utility of satisfaction. So which I have said before, if the person wants to buy only the booklet in the shop one, if he decides to buy, he will get only the booklet. Means he will get number of items is one, but the cost or expending value is 1,000 rupees. If he decides to buy in the shop two, in the second shop, he will get two items. That is, one is booklet and one is pad, which cost is same, that is 1,000 rupees. So in this slide, I am saying that if he substitutes one ice cream for one chocolate, means here in before slide I have given the prices. He can buy 4 ice creams and 3 chocolates. Means by decreasing one item, he is going to buy more items. Equi-marginal principle in economics, how it will be useful. For instance, a consumer or a customer looking for optimum utility or satisfaction for his consumption basket will allocate his consumption budget on services and products such that mu1 by mc1 is equals to mu2 by mc2 and so on up to mun by mcn number of products. There here mu1 is the marginal utility from good one, while mc1 is the marginal cost of good one, and so on. Next, in the same manner, a manufacturer in search of maximum profit would use the technique of production, that is input mix, which will ensure MRP1 by MC1 is equal to MRP2 by MC2 and so on up to MRPN by MCN, which I have said before in the before slide. MC1 or MC2 is known as marginal cost of a good one. You can easily observe that if the above equation is not satisfied, the decision makers could increase his utility or profit by shuffling the resources or input. Example, if mu1 by mc1 is greater than mu2 by mc2, means the above formula equality is not satisfying. If it is greater than or less than, the customer or the consumer would certainly add to his utility by purchasing more of item 1 and less of item 2. That means if his wishes or his needs are not satisfying his budget, so he have to sacrifice one of his item by which we can gain another item in the place of it. Assumptions means the actual assumptions of this equi-marginal principle. Utility could be calculated in cardinal number, means the power of 2 power n something etc. Consumer is rational. He desires maximum satisfaction from income. He is influenced by fashion and habits. The income of purchaser is steady. The prices of products stay constant. A good can be split up in some portion. It means the purchaser can spend his income as he wishes. For example, a person after getting his salary, he want to buy the needs for his home. So the price of items will not be same in all the times. So in one time he can buy 10 items. In the second time he can buy only 9 items. In the third time he can buy 11 items. So the salary is same, means the expenditure or the budget he is keeping for his getting his needs are same, but the number of quantities are getting differ by fashion or habits or his income or his wishes or his willing or the way he wants to buy the items. Next, the customer or consumer has understanding of utility offered by different products. Utility which a purchaser receives from a product is determined by the quantity of that product only. It's not at all influenced by the utility resulting from other items. Consumption is made at a certain period of time. This implies that the budget period of the purchaser is constant. Uses. So for any method or any cost or anything, there should be uses or applications which should be applied in our daily life. It can be used for eliminating waste in useless activities. It can be applied in any decision of budgeting. The management can accept investments with high rates of return so as to ensure optimum allocation of capital resources. The equi-marginal principle can also be applied in multiple product pricing. So in this uses or in the slide, I want to explain that how it is useful in our daily lives. So any person who wishes to buy anything, buy goods or needs to the home or etc. will follow this equi-marginal principle, because which I have said before, the purchasing technique or purchasing way is differing or is changing from time to time. It will be depending on this equi-marginal principle. So from first onwards, let's recall all the points. What is marginal cost? Marginal cost of production is a change in total production cost that comes from making or producing one additional unit. The formula for calculating marginal cost is change in cost by change in quantity. These are characteristics. Equi-marginal cost definition. And this is an example. In this example, the final conclusion is if we sacrifice one thing, we can get another thing in the place of it. Next, equi-marginal principle. This is a derivation. Assumptions. And this is finally, these are the use of the equi-marginal principle, which is very useful in our daily life. So thank you, friends. I hope my words are useful for you and it will be useful for you. Thank you.